up, YouTube? My name is Ace Poker, and we're back again for another video. I took about 3 weeks off. Got a little bit of a disguise today, so hopefully nobody sees me, nobody says anything to me. Going back to Wind Creek to play another session there. We played there about 10 sessions ago. I won a high hand. They've got 2-5. They've got a 5-5 table running. Might play 5-5. They got $500 high hands every 30 minutes. I am so excited. I've got my mind right. Took some time off. We're due for a big win, and let's get right into it. I cannot even begin to explain how happy I am to be back sitting at my computer editing. I know that sounds so weird, but we sat at 1-2 while we waited for 2-5, and I didn't even set up my phone. So this hand comes about 20 minutes after sitting down. It's all wonky. It's going to be quick. Basically, I flop the nuts, the stone cold nuts on my first hand. Only get $20 of value, but man, is that nice to flop the nuts on my very first hand. Hopefully a good sign for things to come. Alright, so we look down at a beautiful King Jack of Hearts. There is a hijack open to 20, and I decide to 3-bet this up to 80. And would it be an Ace Poker vlog if we don't just get 4-bet right away? My opponent to my left just rips it in my face for $400. He's very, very splashy, so honestly, I contemplate calling. But when the hijack calls, yeah, nothing for me to do here besides fold. And oh my goodness, he does not show, but the other player shows aces, so it looks like we might have avoided disaster here because the flop comes King 4-6 rainbow. There is just absolutely no way we would have gotten away from this because the opponent with aces only had about 350 or 400 himself, so we would have lost a massive one to start. So although the 3-bet did not work out, it did work out in the end. The opponent who 4-bet ripped it showed pocket nines. He's very splashy, and as I showed this clip, he just instant reloads. He's very splashy, like I said. Let's get in the mix with him and let's win some money. Yeah, about 10 minutes after that clip, he's all in again for his last 275. He doesn't really care about money. He's trying to get in there. I hope we can get a hand against him and have a good one for the vlog. Let's stay tuned and find out. Hopefully this is the hand to do it as we pick up Ace King offsuit under the gun. I raise it to $20. The splashy player calls and another player in the cutoff decides to call as well. So we're going 3 ways to a board of 8-9-2 with 2 clubs. Not the best board at all as we don't even have a club. I check, splashy player checks, and now the cutoff decides to bet $30. I think that there's a lot of different hands he can be betting here as he's on the cutoff and both players check to him. Could have a lot of club draws. So I decide to float here. Definitely probably not the best play, but getting used to playing poker again, and the splashy player folds. So we're going heads up to a turn, which is awful. The 3 of clubs. I check, and now the other player checks back. So maybe he's scared of the club draw. Maybe he just made the nut flush and he's slow playing it. Who knows? We're headed to a river, which pairs the top card. Another bad card. There's just no use in bluffing this. I check. He snap checks it back and shows pocket 5s and takes this one down. And we're on to the hand of the night. Actually, before the hand of the night, we have to show this one time at least. Pick up pocket kings, raise them, waiting for the player to my left to just go all in, do something crazy. He folds, and I only wind up picking up one caller. We head to a flop. I see bet. He folds. Nothing more frustrating in poker than when you get one premium pocket pair all night and everyone folds. Alright, but at least we have a $2,200 pot incoming, the hand of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seats. Alright, here's the hand of the night. We look down at King Queen offsuit in under the gun +1. Under the gun limped in, which is normally a very scary play because a lot of people like to go for the limp 3-bet or limp 4-bet, but this player has literally limped in every hand, so I'm not worried about that. I raise it up to $20. The cutoff decides to call my $20, and now the button puts in a 3-bet to $90. And if you guys know about where people sit at the tables and ranges that they should have here, the button 3-bet, button raise is normally a bit wider than normal. And now under the gun cold calls 90. So like I said, it's a little weird for somebody to just limp under the gun and then call 90. And now I'm thinking to myself, am I just having reverse implied odds here? Like if these people have, say, ace king, ace queen, and I hit a king, hit a queen, and I'm just kind of screwed. I'm not really sure what to do here, but it's really not that much more for me to try to hit a huge flop and win a lot of money, because if these people do have ace king, ace queen, and the flop comes king queen, or 9-10 jack. I mean, obviously in a perfect world that would be awesome. I can win a huge pot, and I'm sitting super deep. I'm sitting at $1,000 effective, and a lot of these players cover me, so I want to get in the mix. I put in the call, and now the cutoff puts in the call as well. So we're going 4 ways with almost $300 in the middle already. This pot has ballooned up, and I have no idea where I'm at. For the record, looking back, I don't really like continuing with king-queen offsuit here. I would like to only continue with the king-queen suited variety, but I wanted to get in the middle. Can't blame myself for that. You only live once, man. Let's get after it, and let's see if we can flop anything. The flop now comes queen of hearts, 9 of diamonds, 10 of diamonds. Oh my goodness. What did we get ourselves into? But now we are sitting with top pair, the gut shot to a jack to a straight, and a backdoor third nut flush draw. Under the gun checks, I decide to check, the cutoff decides to check, and now it's back to the button who started this whole mess in the first place, and he bets out for $150, right around half pot, gets back to under the gun, and she decides to fold, and now what do we do here? Like I said, this is the stereotypical reverse implied odds situation. If my opponent has aces, kings, ace queen, we are screwed. Obviously pocket queens as well. What do we do here? Do we press our opponent? Do we put him on aces, kings, ace queen, and just raise here? Do we go all in? What's the sizing do we do here? Because our stack to pot ratio is very weird. Like I said, we have roughly $850 left after we call pre-flop. Like I said, the button can have a wide range here. He can have a lot of Broadway suited. We block a lot of those combinations, obviously having the queen of diamonds, so he can't really have king queen of diamonds, ace queen of diamonds, something like that. But he definitely can have a lot of suited variations. One that comes to direct mind is ace king of diamonds. That hand would not mind betting here. But it is a little worrisome though, because if he didn't have a hand with any value at all and he didn't want to protect it, he would just check and take the free card here. But since he's betting right back into 4 people, I think he definitely has one of those strong hands. And let's think about that. If he has one of those really strong hands, aces, kings, ace queen, he's not going to love a raise here. If I'm sitting with aces and I bet into 4 opponents like this and get check raised, I am going to be very scared. Let's think about the hands that I can have here. I raised and then called all of this ridiculous action, so I can have ace queen myself, I can have pocket nines definitely, I could have pocket tens definitely, and I can have king jack suited, as well as some of the really big hands here, such as queen jack suited, to name a really good hand that I could have here. So this raise is very credible if I decide to pull it off here, and I think that's the best option. I think calling is actually the worst option because we're not really going to have much money behind. And if my opponent just has a bluff, it's going to be hard to hang on here. If I check, he could take a free card on the turn. I don't really know. I think raising here is the best option. So now let's talk about sizing. Like I said, I look down, I have roughly $850 in my stack. I think it's an overplay and screams draw if I just jam all in here. I want to raise to a size that looks like I have a value hand. So I cut out and raise to $475. And now the cutoff thinks about this for a really long time, and I am like, what is going on? What did I get myself into? How does the cutoff think for a really long time here? How does he have a really good hand? I have no idea, but he eventually decides to fold. I breathe a little tiny breath of fresh air, but now we still have to think about the button who goes into the tank. He thinks about it for a really long time. He's cutting out chips. I think he's about to just jam over the top, and obviously we'll just have to be stuck in and call. And if he's got queens or some kind of crazy hand like that, we're just screwed. But he thinks about it for a really long time and puts in the call. What is going on? This hand just keeps getting weirder and weirder. What does my opponent have here? Boom! It does not matter what my opponent has now. We hit the miracle queen of spades. We definitely have the best hand here now. Unless he is ultra trapping us here with pocket tens or pocket nines. But I am just I can't even explain how I felt in the moment. Just a huge sigh of relief. My heart was going crazy, and now I know I have the best hand. There's only one move for me to do here. I go all in for my last $300. My opponent is in agony, so now I further know I have the best hand. I just hope he doesn't even have a flush draw or a straight draw. I hope now he has aces or kings and now only has 2 outs, maybe even 1 out depending if he has kings, because I have one of them. But my opponent thinks, and he puts in the call. The river comes, the 6 of clubs, a very big brick. I flip over my hand, and my opponent shows aces in disgust. Let's go. If you guys have been following my channel for the last couple months, I have been getting so unlucky, getting 3 outed, 5 outed, 4 outed, loss after loss after loss. I had to take a 3-week break. It feels so good to finally get some of that back and run good, and let's go. It is better to be lucky than good. Our play does not work out, but then works out. Let's go. I hope you guys can feel the excitement through the screen. I can't express how badly we needed a win. I needed to report a win to you guys today. $2,000 pot, ship it our way. Let's go. The run good does not stop here because we finally play a pot with our splashy opponent to our left. We limp in with pocket 3s. There are 4 limpers, and we flop a set on the best board possible of 2, 3, 7 rainbow. I check. The splashy opponent to my left bets $20. If there was a flush draw, I might raise, but nothing to do besides call. We see the perfect turn, the 2. We boat up right away. I check. And now my opponent quickly fires out for $55. This is a dream come true. Again, I could raise as now there's a heart flush draw, but I just want to call and let him have much rope on the river because I don't see any really strong hands he could have here. I think it's just a pure bluff, and I just want to let him bluff again on the river, so I decide to just call. We see the 8 of clubs on the river. I check again, and just like I said, my opponent just fires out $200 on the river. This is crazy. He only has $150 left. I hope I can get it all. I raise, and immediately he says, "Oh, I don't believe you. I think you're bluffing me." And I'm like, oh my goodness, please think I'm bluffing. Just look at me. I'll just look nervous. Just put it in. This is awesome. It's a dream come true. He thinks and thinks and thinks, just keeps saying out loud, "Oh my God, I really think you're bluffing me. I really think you're bluffing me." And just a side note, why would I try to bluff him if he has $150 left? If I was bluffing, this would be a crazy bluff, but he thinks about it for a really long time and folds, claiming he had pocket 9s. He was a nice guy along with his splashiness, so good for the game. I just showed him the pocket 3s and said good fold, and he said he folded pocket 9s. I don't really believe him. I think this type of opponent would definitely call there, especially with this last 150. But if he had pocket 9s, good fold, and heater continues. We are up over $1,100. Let's keep this run good, and let's keep going strong to end the night. Unfortunately, for the next hour and a half, we ran extremely card dead, and I decided to just pick up and get out of there, book the win. Let's head to the outro. I am so pumped to finally get a win. Man, does that feel good. A win. Wow, our last like 3 or 4 sessions were losses. I took a 3-week break from poker, so I have not had profit in like 2 months. I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of me losing. We finally book one, an $850 win. Finally, we are now 2 for 2 at Wind Creek. I won about $1,500 last time, so I'm up around $2,500 at Wind Creek. Honestly, that's pretty crazy. The games aren't the best here, but I got really lucky hitting quads last time, and then my queen, and then my set into full house here. Thank you guys for sticking through my journey and just sticking through my wins, my losses. That's always my goal, to show you guys the ups, the downs, the true emotions. So I hope you guys appreciate it. Hope you guys love the win, and stay tuned for the next one. As always, have a great day.